Hi everyone, this is Karak from ACG, and today I'm bringing you the review for Into the Void, a strategic RPG and space exploration game that was on mobile and is now coming to the PC on Steam, where the developers themselves have claimed it will have an epic story and intense battles. Let's see what we get, shall we? So here's the review for Into the Void, an aptly named title for what just happened to my brain after playing this: spaceships that just sort of meander around because going places is stupid, patty cake combat measures, and pure hatred for directions of any kind. As always, if you like the video, maybe subscribe. Graphics are up first. Wow. Okay, so remembering that this was a mobile title before it was a PC title actually, it won't do anything for you. Graphics are absolutely basic, with Lego-style ship design that offers less to the imagination than slamming two Lincoln Logs into a cross shape and yelling whoosh whoosh at the top of your lungs while running around your living room pretending to be a spaceship. Everything is basic to the absolute minutia, and though you can upgrade and get new ships, the only word for their aesthetic that I could come up with is WTF Couture. Texturing is also laughably basic across the board, though the overworld or overspace map doesn't look half bad. Its mobile roots are dug so deep that it's impossible to still not notice how truncated the graphics design is as a whole. Then you have the HUD, which is laughable at best. No, seriously, for absolutely no reason, the few basic buttons you do have are on opposite sides of the screen, resulting in an odd tug-of-war on the screen as you flick back and forth to go deeper or more shallow into menu systems. It makes no sense whatsoever. Now, where there's good, there's sometimes bad, and when there's bad, there's sometimes good. And one thing I have to say is when you're in battle, if you can ignore the horrid camera angles and the laugh-out-loud weapons effects, the effects on your shields and the explosive impacts look pretty good. And when things explode, they have this little bit of a 1980s Tron dude dying kind of effect, like they were made of neon fire. And honest to God, that part actually looks really good. But unfortunately, even if you include the maps and just the basic effects themselves, it's pretty much the only part that looked good. Altogether, the only thing I can say is this runs at a steady clip, and that's about it. It's lackluster, even for a game title that's gone from a mobile to the PC. We've seen this done before, and it's almost always looked better. Sound, music, and voice. And sound is up first, and well, it's terrible. It's not only muddy, but the weapon effects sound like some kind of royalty-free website sound effects. Even the Swarmo missiles that are stolen shamelessly from other games that then came out after Macross and Robotech made cluster missile swarms so popular, they don't really sound cool at all. In the end, the sound is basic to poor. Music. You know what? This wasn't actually that bad. Ambient, it didn't get in the way. Almost all of it's synth or artificial instruments. It's not bad, it's not good, but you know what? It was tolerable. Voice. None. So moving on. Gameplay. You know how in every comedy it has that moment where someone asks a person for directions and that person gives them some spiel off of 600 turns and street names, leaving the person asking the question nodding, and yet everyone knows who's watching it. What's going to happen? Imagine turning on a game and the same thing happens, but then it continues through the game because for the most part there's simply no instructions for the gameplay itself, and when they are, they're in some kind of English that's usually reserved for kids learning Pig Latin on a friggin' speak and spell. Welcome to Into the Void. Okay, so you end up starting out, you grab some ships and start doing missions, and that's pretty much it. You click a button, it gives you a little history, and the game starts. Now, during the game, you have some resources to watch out for, like morale, to make sure you humans aboard the ships don't go off and buy Battle for the Sun on Steam and kill themselves, or radiation, which also powers your ship, and a few other things. You're basically split into three parts of the game: the overspace map, upgrading things using resources, and the actual space battles themselves. Now, in the overspace map, as I like to call it, for the most part, you're encountering enemies or random events or small situations that occur on planets, and they'll net you resources, which you could then, of course, use to travel deeper into space and upgrade things. Sometimes you do battle, which is usually after you just got a large text message. So, helmsman, all ahead for Reed. Then close that window, then click engage, then go to a battle screen that looks a bit like Endless Space was trying to render a 1980s arcade game. Then get Michael Bay to cut the action camera so it can flicker in and out like an MTV music video. During that time, you can also hit a couple buttons. Those buttons are auto fight or Well, that's actually it. When you click it, shit happens. Enemies shoot, you shoot, and sometimes text appears above a ship that's exploding like weapons system malfunction, or at least I think it did because the entire battle arena is bathed in blood red lighting, and guess what? So is your damned font. It's all automatic anyway, so you might as well just call that the sandwich button. If you don't use autofight, you wait until it's your turn. At that point, you have other buttons: attack, defend, or run. It's rock, paper, scissors for astronauts. At the end of your battle, either you die and you start over, or you kill the enemy and get a readout with some random resources given to you that don't seem to make any sense when compared to what you just killed. And you know, here's the problem. Space is empty, and this game makes you realize empty would suck. But filling empty with a bunch of stupid is something only a Kardashian brain pan would think was a good idea, not a game. But instead you're stuck clicking on planets and then watching the game interrupt you to tell you something, requiring you to click another button to unpause it. This wouldn't be so bad if random crap didn't happen every 8 seconds and the damn game wouldn't unpause using a keyboard shortcut but required you to hit a button on a different part of the screen. You're left finding out incredibly riveting things like some of your shipmates are MOBA players, or your crewman steers the ship away from an asteroid, which nets him a bonus, because I guess in the future crewmen just steer into shit because dying is better than this, so if he doesn't, we should probably give him something for it. And hey, we're out of space tacos, so here you go, here's an award. Between missions, you can upgrade items and create new things like weapons, but in the end, it's basically a lot of clicking on boxes to light up new boxes that have a green plus near them somewhere, and increase your ability to kill enemies quicker in the Michael Bay battles. There is almost no feedback on what you're doing in the entire game. Also, the absolutely tenuous grasp on English throughout the title makes me look like a damn rogue scholar. Run on sentences, missing verbs. Hell, if you're gonna make it into a particular language, at least make sure it makes sense to those native speakers. Fun factor. No. Here's the thing. I get the desire for quick cash-ins to move a title from mobile to PC, and if it's been done successfully, as it has, and if it's done successfully, which this isn't, I'm fine with that. Those people can get some money for it. There's nothing wrong with that. However, this is shoddy, lacks any refinement, and should never have been released in this state. You know what? In the end, one redeeming fact, though, is that it's only $9.99, but that's like saying that one redeeming fact of getting kicked in the balls is that at some point the pain goes away. What is here has the potential to be interesting, but it is missing a ton. It also absolutely reeks of wanting cash for as little work as possible, and many space mobile games are deeper and better presented than this title. I'm surprised they don't send you a damn link for the PDF to print out the instructions. It stinks of a money grab in all ways, and I hate that shit. As you guys know, I rate games on a buy, wait for a sale, wait for a deep sale, or never touch it again rating scale, especially just for these PC games. Right now, this is a never touch it. Hey, if they go and they take everything from the mobile title, which is highly regarded, and move it to here, I will go back and change that review at some time in the far future. But right now, steer clear of this thing. So that's it for me. I hope you guys liked the review. If you did, hit thumbs up. If you didn't, hit thumbs down. And as always, peace out.